This is Lords of the Fallen. We're here on PlayStation 5 Pro. The game is indeed enhanced. Be sure to like the video. Subscribing is great as well. So this is a game that I played primarily on Xbox when it released, just after release. It was a game that visually looked a bit rough. It's another one of those Souls-like games where it did actually have a different iteration that existed. So like this is kind of both a reboot but also not a reboot. Like there's another game called Lords of the Fallen, or maybe that was the Lords of the Fallen. Anyways, so there was an older version of this game that does kind of exist, but it's very different from this game, and I find that sort of fascinating, to be honest, that exists as it does. Just because, you know, there's technically two, like, Lords of the Fallen out there that are both playable on the modern hardware, which is even more intriguing. So this is a game where it's like a dual-layered kind of world that you're experiencing. So it's like two worlds kind of running side by side with each other. And it was a game that definitely had some, I guess you'd say, technical type issues kind of going on in terms of visual fidelity, and yeah, here with the PS5 Pro, the clarity of the game is really quite miraculous. Like, it is actually, like, fidelity wise, you can actually really see things. So this is the quality mode that we're on for the Lords of the Fallen PS5 Pro enhanced offering, and I guess this is like a bit of a, yeah, we're in a bit of a guided tutorial in this part here, and we're getting a 4K resolution at 30 FPS here. That's funny. I think it's done that to me before too. And there is HDR support as well. The silly thing. I think I'm supposed to oh yeah, it wants me to actually transition into the Umbral world or whatever. I hate the Umbral world. Everything's sad and dusty and decayed, and it's kind of depressing. It really is. Select my lamp, raise it, and then purify it. Oh yeah, this is the pull thing. Yeah. So there's a pull feature. That's how you like move drawbridges and stuff. Maybe not drawbridges, but platforms. Use it for platforming. So anyways, this is the quality mode. This isn't really the way I would play this game, but I wanted to show it off. So kind of like your full 4K, 60 FPS. And then you can switch over to performance mode. And there's motion blur stuff you can change, umbral distortion effect stuff, so little adjustments here or there. I think you'll immediately notice the increase in the fluidity of the game. And still, the picture quality of this looks fantastic. So this is probably the way you're going to want to play this game. And this is where they're actually using a temporal upscaling technique to achieve this. So it's taking, I guess it's their sort of thing for technology. It's taking 1440p and it's pushing up to 4K while providing 60 FPS. And like the visual fidelity in this looks great. And on top of that, we have the benefit of, well, you know, fluidity. So it looks fantastic. I really am quite appreciative that this setting exists in terms of, like, you know, it's not necessarily as clear fidelity-wise as the full 4K, but I'd say this is a really good way to play this game, and especially compared to what we had on the, like, again, I played this on the Series X primarily, and they've done a lot of upgrades. Like, this game looks really like a fuzzy kind of thing, like a fuzzy soup thing, and you know, they've done really good updates to this since launch, which helped improve it. And then here, getting this PS5 Pro enhancement and pushing it a little bit further, I think is fantastic. Like a genuinely creepy kind of thing. Oh, the plunge attack. Wow, that missed every single target down there. That's not depressing at all. No, not in the slightest. Not in the slightest. But it's kind of neat because with these worlds stacked upon each other, you're essentially like, it's a double layered world, which makes it, you know, extra effort to kind of run on engines and then it's also funny because you'll be playing and you won't think about switching to the other world, and you'll be like, how do I figure out, like, where am I going? What am I doing here? And then you'll be like, oh. Or you can use the other world to kind of like get to like hidden secrets and find little items in the world and all that. It's really quite neat. And then combat, this is basically Dark Souls with a twist, right? Where it's like the twist is you've got a layered world on top of things. And like it is the same sort of Dark Souls type thing that you'd be used to, right? Where you are essentially, you know, stamina-based combat. You're dodging, there's big bosses that will tear you apart, there's challenging areas. It is cool, though, that you play alone, or you can kind of invite another player into your world and stuff like that. You may even have the benefit of someone coming in for a bit of an invasion, as to say, which sucks. But, you know, that is part of the universe that you would come across while playing this. I forgot about the kicking. Yeah, it's kind of fun. You get to these areas where there's like these long kind of like walls and stuff, and you can like kick people off of walls. Also pretty entertaining. This game is pain though too. It is like a genuinely difficult game, but the visual fidelity increase here for performance mode is absolutely amazing. It breathes a lot of new life into this game when you can actually like see. If that makes sense. Oh, we don't have enough points. Oh, pain. So here's the multiplayer stuff where you can invite somebody in. But, yeah, the sharpness, the clarity here, absolutely fantastic. It is a game changer for the Lords of the Fallen. As to say, a stunning little bump up. Because to me, that was a bit of an issue for this game. Well, I mean, the large issue, right, was that you literally could not see anything. See, another problem. I used all my stuff, all my health potions accidentally. So all my health potions are gone. It's not too hard to kill this guy, but... it wouldn't have even been close for the sinner had, you know, had I actually had my full capability there. See, and that's where I see, like, it still seems like the shimmer is available. So they must be using, like, there's an upscaler for sure. Well, I mean, they said that as much, right? It's temporarily upscaled, but it does have a little bit of the fuzz. The fuzz is a lot better than it was. Umbral parasites, yeah. I don't want to deal with any of them right now. How are you still alive? Oh, come on. Into the abyss with you. Like how he's shaking, or she's shaking it? I don't know. I actually don't know what character I made. It doesn't really matter too for your character customization. You're just wearing like a suit the whole time. A suit of armor. Again, this is where you gotta use your bridge thing, right? And it becomes like a bridge. There we go, into the other world. So you get these disgusting little... This is what I was talking about, these like disgusting floating platforms that used to get places. And of course, with this being all the usual stamina stuff, you know, you gotta watch out for that kind of thing, and make sure you have the stamina to be able to move around the environment and not fall and die, and it's a process. Fragments of the disgusting past. But it's nice to actually be able to see all of the detail of the environment here. I emerged from the Umbral, reborn. This is actually a much, much more pleasant way to play this, and the performance is actually smooth. Which I don't know how ridiculous that sounds, but this was definitely one of those games that struggled with its performance levels. This is a much, much better way to play this game. I mean, I'm not really into the Souls genre. I've played way too many of them because it's my job, but yeah, this is a way better way to play this. You get around this way? Nope. And you know, your typical level design, you move through areas, and then some areas kind of open up a bit more once you get to the new section. You know, after you fought things and killed stuff. Very, very typical scenarios, you know what I'm saying? It's just nice to have fluidity and resolution. And of course, you know, it is kind of cool to check out the quality mode just to see how clean this is. I'm assuming that will be more of like a PS6 kind of thing, maybe somewhere down the road, is like having quality mode, but it's uncapped. It's actually a bit of a shame we couldn't achieve that, but you know what? It's just nice having a full resolution here. The gate does not budge. It sounds like the gate's problem. I can rest here. Then the world resets. It's a good way to get new enemies. Can I upgrade myself? Really? That's still short? Holy. Okay, at least now I got more health potions. I thought I was kind of getting close. You've been soul flayed. Nobody ever expects to get soul flayed. The water looks a lot better, but you can still see like the resolution scaling kind of stuff in effect, eh? Or at least I don't know how that looks for other people, but well, the idea was there. The idea was there. It makes this concept a lot more, like, doable? If that makes sense? The fact that, like... Isn't this how you do this? Is... I don't know. It makes the effect a lot more doable when you can actually... Basically, I can't remember how you do long range. Oh, that was a waste of that. When you can actually see clarity between the modes and stuff, it makes a world of difference visually and aesthetically. Like, I can appreciate the art direction, what they were going for a lot more now that this actually, like, runs good and looks good. Once again, not huge into Souls-like games, but this is one of those games that I know a lot of people are quite into, quite fancy, so it is one that I'm always trying to, like, check out and showcase if I can. Oh, come on. What about the lantern? It's also one of those games I'll probably never finish just because it's so grueling. Oh, that looks so good. Oh, and this game has a really, really great sense of scale to it. Seriously, like this, the sense of like distance, I'm like seeing like different objects and stuff. This game is pretty ridiculously awesome for that. And now when you look into the distance, you'll actually be able to see all that stuff. What's up, dude?
You carry the if you don't want make use of these.
Thanks. Umbral flower bed. This allows you to grow your own checkpoints. And thus I have become more powerful. Now I believe I should be able to have this dude come and help me.
From now on.
Right? Or maybe not. Because I'm pretty sure there's like a big sequence coming up here. This is when stuff starts getting real. It's so nice to actually be able to see the detail in the environment. Yep. This is when things get tense.
Aureus, by your radiance, grant me the strength to continue to endure these dark days, to lay bare the path to salvation for my wayward brothers and sisters, so we may walk it together, and to strike down all those who would see our will defied. Even as our suffering continued, I honored my pledge of patience to the Exactor. And yet you now appear before me, a stranger, bearing what was not yours to receive. A betrayal made flesh, and one I cannot brook.
I can fix her. It's so nice to actually be able to see what's going on in this battle. I like how this is probably gonna, like, the PS5, like, regular generation is literally gonna be defined by, like, the fact that everything just looked really fuzzy and unclear. And the Pro is just basically like, I accidentally used both. I didn't want to use both. Yeah, it's gonna be like defined as like the fuzzy gen, and the Pro is just like fixing all the fuzziness. I'm so going to die. I had it coming. I deserved that. I'm back. You're such a cool enemy. Although I think it's cheating when you use your bird stuff like that. I wish that giant tutorial thing on the right hand side of my screen would disappear so I could actually focus on what's going on. You are dead. I've fallen. And I can't get up. Wait, is that why it's called Lords of the Fallen?
I've given you from now on.
I thought I was supposed to, like... This guy was supposed to, like, help me. Back in Lambert. Can't remember how that works. I feel like you're supposed to be able to get this guy and he comes in and he like fights with you or something. Maybe you gotta turn off the multiplayer to do that if I'm remembering correctly. Ah, look at that big distance and that weird hand thing in the distance. This looks great. Really does. Visually beautiful.